McConnell be rotated at some point is going to help Rutgers tremendously.
Now, Rutgers has gotten great contributions from Cliff Amori. The transfer Cam Spencer has played lights out. And Rutgers has been doing well, even with McConnell out for the first 5 games and Paul Mulcahy missing the last 2, now 3 as well. He's out today. Rutgers wins the opening tip, and there is the freshman Derek Simpson going up and under. And he has played like a veteran in his 6 games so far.
And we were talking to Steve Plankel about Derek Simpson. I asked him, I said, he's a freshman, a true freshman, but he really plays with a tremendous amount of confidence. We saw that on that drive right there.
Hyatt lobbing for Amori, but a bit out of his reach, and it goes out of play. Under Steve Plankel, this is a Rutgers team that has prided itself on defense, and we see Rutgers go straight out into a full court press. The Scarlet Knights are among the nation leaders in steals and turnovers forced, and part of that is the differing defenses that the Scarlet Knights have rolled out.
And Rutgers is going to have to close out on their shooters. We talked about that in the open just a few moments ago. This is a 3-point shooting team in Central Connecticut. They like to shoot a lot of threes early and often, so it's going to force Rutgers to kind of push a lot of their defenders out towards the perimeter, right around that 3-point line, contest every shot.
Late in the shot clock, Amos hoists and connects, and case in point right there. Central Connecticut State's path to a victory today would have to go through a whole lot of threes. So Amos, who averages 13 points a game, puts Blue Devils on top. And now Mawat Mag going to work and floats it in. What a nice year it's been for Mag, his first year as a starter.
And he's looking for a healthy full season. He's been nursing injuries really ever since he came here to Rutgers. So to have him be able to start the year healthy and hopefully stay healthy throughout the year is going to be the challenge for Mag this year.
Andre Snoddy working from the point. Amos, same spot, but this time off the front of the rim. And Amori, who's averaging a double-double this season and averaging even better than that lately, has the rebound, his first. Now Amori, over the last 3 games, averaging 21 points and 13 boards. Double-teamed here, finds Hyatt, and he got hit.
A nice cut there by Hyatt, though, to go to the rim. Amori being double-teamed, able to make a move to the basket, draws the contact, and will go to the line.
So here is Andre Hyatt, the junior from the Bronx, New York. Now the word confidence has popped up in a lot of the coverage of Rutgers this season, and it's true for Hyatt, a guy who transferred to Rutgers last year from LSU, but as we mentioned, is a local guy from Eastchester Heights. And he says he's playing with the most confidence he's played in a long time, and it showed up, averaging 12.5 points and 5.5 rebounds per game.
And, I talked to Andre Hyatt after the Sacred Heart win a couple of weeks ago, and I spoke to him. He has a very quiet confidence about him. He's been working on a lot of things during practice to get better. But one thing that stands out to me about Andre Hyatt is how he handles himself, how he carries himself. Very nice overall player for Rutgers to have on their squad.
Again, late shot clock here for the Blue Devils as the freshman Simpson guards Amos. Joe Ostrowski off the dribble drive, tried to pass it to Amos, but Simpson kicked it away.
And again, you're noticing Rutgers play a lot closer to the 3-point line than maybe they have at different times this year, just because of how much of that deep ball threat that Central Connecticut brings to the floor.
Yeah, as a group, Central Connecticut shoots at 39% from deep, but this time Ostrowski off the back of the rim, and Mag tries to push it. Simpson for Spencer, who has been red hot, averaging 17 points a game over his first 5 at Rutgers. Gets a good look here. He's a 3-point shooter, but short-armed it.
Yeah, Spencer didn't really have his feet set there. It was a nice pass from Mag, but Spencer wasn't really quite ready to take that shot.
Now Spencer has, in addition to his success, filled in quite nicely with the production that Rutgers has missed as of late as he grabs the rebound off the Snoddy miss. And then earns the whistle. I mean, it's not just the scoring, too. It's the assists and the steals with Spencer that have jumped off the page.
Yeah, 20 steals this year for Cam Spencer. That's second in the nation. So it's just really interesting to me how he has been able to add to the dynamic here of Rutgers. Transferring in, quickly being able to mesh with all the other players on this team, and really emerge as one of those stars, if you will, that helps lead the Rutgers offense.
Back to Amori in the post, who's triple teamed. Good pass there from Simpson to get Hyatt an open look. And now Mag gives Rutgers a second chance, but it's taken away. Got a feeling we'll need to see Cliff Amore pass out of the post because a Central Connecticut State team that is small, they'll try to double and triple him today.
Well, they know that he's going to be a big threat downstairs as far as being able to get to the rim, make plays at the rim. So if you're Central Connecticut, you want to really kind of isolate him, so to speak. You want to double team him when you can, try to make him have to take a tough shot downstairs if he gets the ball.
First 5 points for the Blue Devils come from number 5, Kellen Amos. What an impact the Binghamton transfer has been. Had 24 points in his Central Connecticut debut, coming off a team-high 13-point showing last time out in a narrow loss to Maine. As Spencer got right inside, went from the perimeter to 5 feet away, his first 2 points.
And a nice job using the backside of your body to keep the defender off of you. No one really picked up Cam Spencer, and Spencer took his time, was patient, got to the lane, and made a nice shot.
Scoring from 4 different Scarlet Knights already. Amos inside for Abdul Momo, who's the Blue Devils center, and he gets it right at the rim. And Spencer traveled. Good defense there by Ostrowski to force the turnover.
So really wants to kind of get him back into the rotation. Rutgers has got some pretty stiff competition coming up after this game. Of course, they've got to take care of CCSU this afternoon, but they've got Miami on the road coming up in a few days. Then they start conference play. So to see Caleb McConnell back in the lineup and back on the floor has got to make Rutgers feel pretty good.
Yeah, that applause for McConnell as well, as he's announced as officially checking in. Central Connecticut State has shot 3 of 6 so far, so immediately they put McConnell on Amos. 2 to shoot, Snoddy, and now it's a shot clock violation. Now the horn doesn't go off, but the 0 pops up. You see a guy like Amos go off for 5 points quick. It's nice to have the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year come off the bench and do that.
Very nice job holding defensively there for the Scarlet Knights. Everyone looked kind of discombobulated out of that timeout on the Blue Devils side. And now we'll actually see what Caleb McConnell can do here on the offensive side once Rutgers gets the ball.
Scarlet Knights 3 of 5 shooting so far, but they're the ones who've committed a couple turnovers. 3 to this point. Amore gets it to the corner for McConnell in his first touch. Zone look here from Central Connecticut. McConnell in the corner, gets a floater and sinks it. Welcome back to the court, Caleb McConnell, his first 2 points of the season.
Just a collapse of defense there. Central Connecticut was in a 2-3 zone, and when McConnell started to drive to the rim, nobody picked him up, so he pulled up and made a nice jump shot.
And now Hyatt gets his hand on the pass. He's ahead, and he's held as he tried to emerge in front of Snoddy.
Here's another look. Nice anticipation there by Hyatt. Goes to the rim, gets fouled from behind. It's going to be free throws upcoming for Andre Hyatt.
And Hyatt is one of Rutgers' top free throw shooters at 86%. As a unit, Rutgers a shade under 70. And now 3 points at the stripe for Hyatt. Now first sub for Central Connecticut, and it's notable. Devontae Sweatman, he's in the game. Averaging 59% from beyond the arc. Scoring 11 points a game. He has been one of the best three-point shooters in the nation over the first couple of weeks of the season. So you got to watch out for him, number 2 in blue. But a mismatch here with Amore against Amos. Doubled. And down to the baseline for Jaden Brown, the backup center, and he floats in his first 2.
Yeah, good find there underneath. Amore was a little out of position, and Brown able to adjust, being a little bit too far underneath the basket, but still makes the bucket.
And rebound here from Amos after the Amore miss. Snoddy calls for the Brown screen, and Simpson jumped the passing lane, but was a tick late, and it results in a Sweatman lay-in.
And now you've seen 2 possessions in a row. Again, Central Connecticut known for their three-point shooting. Twice now they've come down the floor and they've looked inside and they've gotten baskets right near the paint area.
McConnell off the feed, no. Spencer on the second try, good. A second helping there for Cam Spencer, and Rutgers back in front. Nigel Scantlebury, no looks it to Snoddy. And no answer there, but an offensive rebound. First one of the day for the Blue Devils, who do not do that very well. Bottom 30 in the nation in offensive rebounding rate. Scantlebury on the back door, and it was too far ahead of Snoddy.
You're going to get that when you take a lot of threes. You're going to have a lot of long rebounds, especially if you miss. It's probably going to back out towards the foul line, three-point line. Makes it difficult if you're a defender to box out on that, because even if you're in great position, that ball goes way over your head. There's not really much you can really do. But again, Central Connecticut going inside the last 3 possessions, trying to throw Rutgers off just a little bit.
Both teams shooting better than 55% so far. All the way around to Mag, trying to bully his way in, and does. 2 more from Mawat Mag, he's got 4.
And we're starting to see Mag get more comfortable, especially in that low post area. He can shoot from around the perimeter, but we talked about him a few moments ago. In his first full season, healthy, so to speak, coming off of the offseason, and we're starting to really see him gain a lot of confidence when he's on the floor.
Sweatman trying to attack the rim and got bumped off the spot by Spencer. Rutgers running. Simpson gets the contact and finishes anyway. Now Derek Simpson learning on the fly here. His 3rd straight game in the starting lineup with those injuries we've talked about. And he's got a quick 4 points, 2 of 2. McConnell switches to Snoddy, almost threw it away. 6 on the timer. And the pass picked away by Spencer. It was his first steal of the day. He'll get it back for the 3 and drills another. Cam Spencer ready to roll here on Thanksgiving weekend. 8 points in the first 9 minutes. And Central Connecticut head coach Patrick Seller would like to talk it over.
Shooting 42% from behind the arc, and we've seen that so far early on. Just knocking down that most recent 3 to give Rutgers a little spark.
Now 2 more in off the bench for Rutgers. Antoine Woolfolk and Jalen Miller. Woolfolk, the freshman forward, has had a nice start to his career. And Miller, who's been the defensive ace. Timer's at 5 here. Amos way beyond the arc with 1 against McConnell, and does not get the shot off in time. It's the 2nd shot clock violation Rutgers is forced.
I was just going to say, that's the 2nd time that's happened to the Blue Devils. I just don't think they have enough communication going on the offensive end to realize that the shot clock is winding down. That's something that you have to have, especially when you're on the road, you're in a very noisy environment. That's twice now the Blue Devils have not been aware that shot clock is winding down.
And both of those coming in the 4 minutes that Caleb McConnell has been on the court for Rutgers. Mag drives to the lane, over 2 hands, missed it, but Woolfolk cleans it up.
And he's someone that Steve Peichel, talking about Antoine Woolfolk, someone that he is very excited about. Coming in here as a freshman, he's 250 pounds. He's built like a linebacker, or built like a tight end, I should say. In fact, he got offers to play tight end. So he's just one of those players that is going to be a very key component in the years to come for the Scarlet Knights.
High flying stuff. Kellen Amos oop in the alley. And that snaps a 12-0 Rutgers run. Amos with 7 points. McConnell using the Woolfolk screen. Goes under there, had it stripped. Rutgers will keep it with 10 to shoot. Now Woolfolk coming off the best game of his young career. Just take another look at this. That's nice.
It is a very nice find underneath to find Amos up in the air like that. Nice speed from his teammate. And we've talked about how this is a team in Central Connecticut likes to shoot a lot of threes, but ever since the first couple of minutes, they've been going inside a lot, Dom.
Rutgers goes inside there. Woolfolk with 2 more. Coming off the best game of his young career. 8 points, 9 rebounds for Woolfolk in that Ryder win back on Tuesday. Played 19 minutes as well. A season high is with the injuries. Steve Peichel said, obviously, you don't want your players to get hurt, certainly not 2 of your captains. But for Rutgers, it's meant that guys like Woolfolk and Simpson have gotten more time on the court than they ordinarily would have in their first month of college.
And that's going to be important, especially as you start to get deeper and deeper into conference play, because the reality of it is when you have players like Cam Spencer or Cliff O'Morey, they're going to get into foul trouble at some point down the road. So you're going to need to have someone who can step off of that bench and come in and fill that spot on the floor. And if you start to see that from some of your young talent, that makes you as a coach feel very confident about entering those situations.
Scantlebury thought about the step back. Instead to the corner, it's TJ Holloway, a freshman guard. Missed it there. Miller running and lays it in. Nice stagger step from Jalen Miller for his first 2 points of the day.
And we've seen that a couple times so far in this first half. We talked to Steve Peichel this morning. He said, I really wanted to get the team to go out and run. I really want them to run the floor, push the ball up the floor, up-tempo. When you have a chance to maybe get a quick bucket at the other end, you saw that right there coast to coast from Jalen Miller.
Nigel Scantlebury, second leading scorer on Central Connecticut, yet to get going. Holloway late in the timer, had it knocked away by Woolfolk. Now, coaching staff for Rutgers says that Woolfolk is among the team leaders in deflections, which is a stat they chart, as McConnell zips it out of play. It's one of the reasons why Woolfolk has earned all of that playing time, because of his defensive prowess, as McConnell checks out. Spencer and Hyatt are back in here for the Knights. Rutgers going 8 deep so far. And Miller hit with the foul, but Scantlebury teed up as he elbowed Miller away after the whistle.
Yeah, just tight defense there by Jalen Miller. Clearly a foul in the backcourt. But then you have this here. Watch again. Here's the contact right there. That's the foul. And then just a little extra shove after the whistle. Not necessary at all. And Scantlebury going to pick up that technical foul. See Patrick Sellers there on the sidelines getting an explanation.
Cam Spencer, 95% free throw shooter. We'll get one more. Now the golden standard of shooting is 50, 40, 90, right? 50% field goal, 40% from deep, 90 at the stripe. Well, coming into play today, Spencer's at 50, 42, 95. Even better than that.
I was going to say, yeah, that's pretty good numbers right there.
And Rutgers starts 5 of 6 at the stripe. So it'll be Central Connecticut ball. Oh, no, pardon me. With the technical foul, Rutgers will get it back. Yeah, Class A Tech on Scantlebury, and so Rutgers possession off of the foul. And they get it in for Hyatt, who's blocked away. Boy, it was both Momo and Snoddy inside. Well defended there for a Blue Devils team that does not have a great post presence. Spencer comes off the screen and has 2 more. He's got a dozen here in 12 minutes, picking up where he left off Tuesday.
Averages around 17 points a game, and you mentioned those numbers a moment ago. Just incredible play from Cam Spencer to start this season.
It's a 20-2 Rutgers run over the last 5 minutes and change, and that much needed for Central Connecticut as Scantlebury has his first 3 points.
Yeah, a player that scored 16 points in 3 of the last 5 games just picked up that technical foul, Dom, just a moment ago. Here's a turnover.
And it's Scantlebury ahead of everybody, but Hyatt blocked it away. No thanks. Andre Hyatt chasing back for the rejection.
Well, the second that you think you have a little bit of momentum, Andre Hyatt comes in from behind and says, "No, sir, not in my house." Swats it away. Rutgers up big here.
It's a Rutgers team that has been tough to score against, 9th in the nation in scoring defense. And what seemed like a short 2 points, just possession here for the Blue Devils. Snoddy tried to throw it inside, and it was Spencer who got a hand on it. And that's the thing with Rutgers this season. It seems like every pass they've got their hand in the lane.
Well, that's going to make Steve Peichel very happy, the entire coaching staff. One of the things you're always taught, even in high school, keep your hands up just at all times, because you never know when you can get a hand on the ball, deflect it out of bounds, throw the offense just off a little bit, force them to try to reset. And you're right, Dom, it has seemed like that this year, that Rutgers has gotten their paw on that basketball more often than not on the defensive side.
Look down low for Momo, and that paid off nicely. Jay Rogers on a great find for Central Connecticut's big fella. Amori got right to the rim. The Scarlet Knights are shooting nearly 70% in this first half.
You know, Amori's been pretty quiet. That's just his first basket of the game. We really haven't talked about him, the leading scorer. It's been some of his other teammates that have helped pick up the slack in this first half.
Inside again for Momo, but again, Spencer knocks it away. Caleb McConnell back on the floor as Jalen Miller exits. Now McConnell says his goal this year is to win the National Defensive Player of the Year award. Rutgers are just happy to have him back. Big Ten steals leader last year. 3 to shoot. Rogers to Snoddy, stripped, and it's the 3rd shot clock violation forced on this end in the first half.
And again, it's just a communication issue. You have to be able to communicate with your teammates. If the person with the ball is not aware of that, your other teammates have to be able to step up and say, hey, we got to take a shot here. We have to get something off. The shot clock's about to expire. It's all about communication. You said it, Don. That's the 3rd time in this first half that's happened.
Now Maury trying to show off his point guard skills, his ball handling skills there, but got fouled. It's the 5th one against Central Connecticut and the 2nd against Momo, so he's got to check out. They get it back in for Amori, and he's fouled.
And you know, one thing, Don, that I've been impressed about in this first half, you talk about how Rutgers has been very tenacious on the defensive side of the ball, knocking a lot of balls out of position, stealing the ball away, knocking it out of bounds. Rutgers only has 2 personal fouls in this first half, so nearly 14 minutes in, and Rutgers has been playing very aggressive defensively, but has only picked up 2 personal fouls. That's an important stat, because when you think of where Rutgers has been in past years, they have run into foul trouble very early in the first half and have had to really swap out and sub in a lot of different players. They've been subbing in a lot of players and have been rotating them off of the bench, but it's not been because of personal fouls.
Well, one out of 2 at the line there for Amori, who goes to chase that down and steals it away. Amori, like a cornerback. Spencer trying to polish it off, and he does. It's a gem from Rutgers.
And for the Blue Devils, anytime you let Cam Spencer set his feet, more often than not, he is going to make that shot from behind the arc. Great job in transition there, finding the spot and knocking that down.
And again, it's knocked away, but Snoddy able to reel it in. And McConnell, the latest to get his hand on the ball. Blue Devils have had no time to get comfortable.
Yeah, look at this just a moment ago. Again, everyone in transition after the turnover there. Omori gets to Hyatt, and then Spencer has time. Nobody comes out to meet him, and he knocks down that 3. 15 points so far for Cam Spencer.
Yeah, including 3 made threes. Although right there, Spencer picks up his first foul.
Maybe an announcer's jinx right there?
I don't know about that.
Maybe.
There's Jaden Brown with Momo on the bench. Handoff for Sweatman. Tried the pick and roll, and Amori again comes up with a steal. He's played positionless basketball at points this season. McConnell, a little shake and bake. Oh, but left it short. And knew it too.
And that's kind of a classic Caleb McConnell move. I mean, how many times have we seen that in his Rutgers career? Been able to do that little pump fake, get the defender in the air, get around him, and pull up. Left a little bit short there, but that's classic Caleb McConnell play.
2 long steps for Jay Rogers on the layup. And snaps a 2.5-minute scoring drought. Spencer sharing this time, but McConnell stepped out of play. You know, before the game, even at points when Rutgers was jogging back to the bench, and we'll talk about that in a sec as we see Amori with the active hands. 2 steals.
Yeah, this was the Spencer 3 just a moment ago, and then you see again Amori coming up big. His wingspan is just phenomenal. I mean, when he puts his arms out, it's incredible how much ground he can cover as a defender.
Well, that time it's Brown who knocks it down. 4 points for him. Central Connecticut trying to stay in it. And Rutgers will run this possession through Spencer. Hyatt got open in the corner, but missed the 3. And Rutgers again tenacious defensively. Amos pulled up, tried to get it around Amori, but missed it off the window. Hyatt, a second try, gets inside this time, and missed the lay-in. Both teams have shot very well in this first half, but a cold couple of possessions. And no sleepwalking coming off the Thanksgiving holiday, that's for sure. Rogers, the southpaw, off the front of the rim, and it's Sweatman at 5'8" who ripped it down, but McConnell blocked it away. Hyatt sensed Sweatman, got his own miss. He's going to shoot some free throws.
Michael, of course, recently scored that 100th career win as a head coach here at Rutgers, becoming the 6th coach in Rutgers history to do so. He's now one shy away, Dom, 1 win away from 300 career wins as a coach overall for Steve Pikiell.
Yeah, and a couple of those have come in, again, one-sided fashion here early in the year. Rutgers 4-1, 3 of those 4 wins by 30 points or more, including a 76-46 win over Rider Tuesday, a Rider team that has played well this season.
And Steve Pikiell even said, I think, after the game, that was one of the games that he was actually concerned about. He was not exactly all that confident going in there. He wasn't exactly sure what Rider was going to be able to bring to the floor. Rutgers, though, able to handle them very easily. You mentioned that 30-point win. But, yeah, their non-conference play for the Scarlet Knights, especially here at home in Jersey Mike's Arena over the last several seasons, has been nothing short of impressive.
Rogers, kick to the corner for Snoddy, off the top of the backboard on the 3.
Yeah, Snoddy had to force up a shot there. Shot clock was down to 1.
The Blue Devils mentioned that they need the 3s, but they are 2 of 9 from outside so far. Woolfolk playing the center role here in this lineup. As he goes inside for Mag. It's 6 points from Mawat Mag, and I think all 3 have been inside the restricted area. That's how close he's gotten.
And they've come as a result of really nice passes from some of his teammates where Mag has been open right around that low block area. So really nice job overall in this first half for Mawat.
Brody Limerick holding at the point, transfer from Quinnipiac. First time in the game. Scantlebury trying to shake Spencer. Snoddy just ran over Woolfolk. It's a charge. Now the freshman with charges, he will get in the good graces if he's not already, and he clearly is.
Well, we mentioned earlier, Woolfolk, 250 pounds. He's built like a tight end. I don't know about you, Don, but I'm not going in there and trying to draw a charge on that guy.
You've probably heard at this point about how he had some major offers to play college football. Some college coaches were even considering the idea of playing Woolfolk as an offensive lineman. That is until earlier this year when Rutgers reached out and said, hey, we want you to play basketball. Took a visit here to Piscataway and was sold. That turns it over there. And now Central Connecticut will settle it. Coming up on the final minute of play. Rutgers right now with its largest lead of the day. Amos, good skip for Sweatman. All the way around, it's Amos who finishes the possession, missed it, and Sweatman another offensive rebound. Now Scantlebury, Amos got fouled. Good ball movement there from the Blue Devils on that possession.
I think that's the first offensive possession that Central Connecticut has had in quite a long while where they've actually been able to move the ball around efficiently on the offensive side. They get the ball inside, they draw some contact, they're going to the line, something that they haven't done very much of this afternoon. A little bit too little too late, at least here in the first half.
Now one more coming here for Kellen Amos. That free throw does snap a scoring skid of, a scoreless skid that is, of 3.5 minutes for the visitors. A couple of subs for both teams. Clifford Morey is back in for Rutgers. And Amos gets them both. So about a 10-second difference, maybe 11-second difference, shot and game clock here, as McConnell will run the point for this possession. Veteran lineup on the floor now for the Knights. Spencer again open, and again drills it. 18 in the first half for Cam Spencer. Go off, young fella. Down to 5. Here's Scantlebury. Can't lose Spencer. Amos from great distance. Missed it, and that's how the first half comes to a close. But right here, the goal is to close out the game the same way the first half went. Scarlet Knights dominated in just about every facet. Now it's Cam Spencer right now having the game of his young Rutgers career. So can the Blue Devils shake the scoring rust from the first half? Well, they'll need to get Kellen Amos going, and that'll certainly help. He's their top scorer, and now into double figures with 11.
Yeah, he had 24 points in the season opener against UMass, but has come nowhere near that point today. See Omori there drawing the foul there inside.
Yeah, Momo thought he had the clean block and is in disbelief.
Let's take another look at that.
Left hand.
Possibly got him on the hand.
We have not seen a ton of usage with Cliff Omori here so far. Rutgers has run the ball to him in the post, but he's had to pass out a lot because of the doubles and triple teams. And so just 4 points now.
Yeah, the leading scorer coming in. And we kind of touched on that in the first half for Rutgers. Omori had a presence on the defensive end, but not so much offensively. However, everybody else, players like Andre Hyatt, Mawat Mag, Derek Simpson, have either been able to start and contribute nicely on the offensive side or come off of the bench and fill in some of those gaps that Rutgers has struggled with at different times to be able to do, especially if one of their players like Omori is having maybe a down afternoon. Not that he's played badly, I'm just saying they've been able to rotate in very nicely and contribute on the offensive side.
Central Connecticut not having a fun time getting it across half court. First the Simpson foul, and then Mag, the on-ball defender, poked it away. And that just got into Scantlebury as they break the press. Here's Jaden Brown, kick out for Scantlebury, and short arms a three. And there is Amori with his better than 7-foot wingspan, ripping the rebound. And Hyatt just couldn't handle the pass.
Going back to that last play just a moment ago, I think that's the cleanest look that Central Connecticut has had from behind the three-point line all day.
Certainly on the list. And yet they're 2 of 12. This is a team that averages nearly 10 made threes per game coming into this. Good for top 50 nationally. Simpson marking Amos. He's in the lane. He lays it in and one. Nifty move by Kellen Amos. He's got the first few points for the Blue Devils in the second half.
Well, we really didn't talk about him much in the first half, but kind of contrary to what we come to expect from the Blue Devils, they're going inside, and that time Amos able to draw the contact, get the basket, and now he'll try to get one more from the line.
And off the back of the rim. So 13 for Amos. And Central Connecticut back within 20. And taken away, Scantlebury, the fifth-year senior, against the freshman Simpson, who commits the foul.
That's 3 on Derek Simpson, the freshman, so I'll be interested to see if he gets subbed out of the game. Probably not a bad foul here, especially on a break opportunity like that with Scantlebury going to the rim. And sure enough, he'll go to the bench as McConnell will check in for him.
Now McConnell in the first half, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, no steal yet. For the reigning Big Ten steals king. Just joining us, McConnell, Conference Defensive Player of the Year last year, making his return to the lineup after missing the first 5 games of the year with what's described as a knee tweak. Backdoor cut, and Amos able to get around everybody. He's got the first 6 points in his second half. McConnell, by the way, 14 first half minutes. Steve Peichel said he doesn't have a strict minutes restriction on McConnell, as Amori this time has it poked away. Nice start to the second half for Nigel Scantlebury. Preseason all-conference pick and one of the top scorers on the team. Now Snoddy contested and swishes it. All of a sudden, a couple in a row for Central Connecticut. They get it back within 13.
Yeah, it's a 9-2 start, Dom, in this second half in favor of Central Connecticut. So not sure, maybe Rutgers a little bit asleep at the switch, so to speak, or just didn't get off to a great start coming out of the locker room. But Central Connecticut right now obviously in a little bit of a rhythm here, and they're starting to chip away at this lead.
Yeah, they've made 4 of their first 5 shots in this half. Rutgers has 3 turnovers in the second stanza. But they get it to Spencer, who has been the offense. This time the lob for Amori, who tried to kick it back. Got stuck under the rim. Amos, another deep 3. And off the front of the rim, no good. Would have made it a 10-point game. Feed it inside for Amori, who missed it. He was right there on the layup, was able to get around the defender, Brown. Just couldn't fit it in. And Steve Peichel clapping from the sidelines, looking for some energy from the defense, trying to spark the offense. Go Ostrowski, deep 3, missed it, but Snoddy has the miss. Couple of offensive rebounds for the Blue Devils here so far. Brown got it open and then got doubled over.
It's always a dangerous play when you have someone come up from behind Obviously nothing intentional there from Mag, just trying to get up and block the shot, but dangerous for both players. Looks like they're both okay. Rutgers just lacks energy here to start this second half, Dom. I don't know what exactly it is, but looks like a totally different team out of the locker room so far, at least in these first couple of minutes.
Now Brown getting some minutes with Abdul Momo, the starting center, picking up 3 first-half fouls as Scantlebury gets all the way to the rim, and Steve Peichel wants to talk it over.
They don't have the crispness that they had in the first half as far as their passes. They've had some turnovers, and they have basically allowed the back door to remain open and allow Central Connecticut to get back into this game.
There's Dean Reber into the game for the first time for Rutgers, the power forward, and sets up Jalen Miller, who's fouled. Central Connecticut out of the timeout, going to the full court press, really trying to capitalize on the different second half.
Well, Rutgers just right now is a little out of sync, so if you're Central Connecticut, you want to try to capitalize on that. Nice, smart move as far as a coaching standpoint is concerned from Patrick Sellers, recognizing that, trying to put Rutgers on the defensive a little bit. Just the energy and just the overall feel just is not what Rutgers had in the first half.
This is one way Rutgers can get some scoring, going to the line. And Jalen Miller sinks the first. Played a career-high 24 minutes last time out against Ryder. Chance for him to get some serious playing time here before Rutgers enters that arduous stretch that we talked about. And Steve Peichel shuffling the lineup, coming out of the timeout to just try to find a spark. So 2 at the line for Miller, and Ostrowski runs the offense. Andre Snoddy, 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting. All that from the perimeter as he goes to the rim and creates. In the end, it's Brown with the tip in.
Yeah, just nobody boxing out underneath that time. Brown in great position. Blue Devils within 11.
Spencer, short. Woolfolk, a one-hand rebound. And a big man's putback. Antoine Woolfolk, much needed scoring.
And that's what we're expecting to see from Woolfolk, especially as he gets more and more experience down there in the post, being able to body up, be aggressive, and put that ball in the rim.
Scantlebury. Snoddy got Reber to fly by and then fouled.
Can understand, I think Patrick Sellers does have a case there, but I think because of the way that Snoddy was in position underneath the basket, I think the officials think he was trying to pass the ball off, but certainly had a case there just a moment ago.
Now Rutgers forces the miss. Scantlebury couldn't get it in close. McConnell set up for 3. It's short, and Snoddy has the rebound. Rutgers just 1 of 4 to shoot here in this second half. Now McConnell looking for his first steal of the season. That time knocked it away.
One other thing I'll just briefly mention, Dom. Rutgers had 4 team fouls in the first half. So far in the opening 5 minutes of the second half, they have 5. Just adds to that overall narrative. Just completely different start to this second half.
Brown kicks it for Ostrowski. Back rim, no, and Reber was held, searching for the loose ball. And now that's 3 on Brown, 4 against the Blue Devils. Rutgers led in the first half by as many as 20. That was the halftime margin, too. Team that has won 4 games so far here at home this season by an average margin of better than 20, as Woolfolk was the latest to be fouled.
Yeah, Woolfolk got lucky there. He was triple teamed. In a situation like that, sometimes you're not really exactly sure what to do. I think in cases like that, you forget sometimes you can dribble your way out of it. Tough to do when you have 3 guys around you, however, but kind of a bailout foul that time by the Blue Devils.
Quick in for Woolfolk and lays it in. 8 points, perfect 4 of 4 shooting, and Woolfolk really finding his stride here in the first month of his career. And at the same time, it's Woolfolk with the off-the-ball foul, holding Brody Limerick. It's a 3 on the freshman, and Cliff Amori will re-enter.
Another look at that basket just a moment ago by Woolfolk. Nice find inside from Spencer to his teammate. He's going to check out of the game, but I think you documented it pretty well just a moment ago, Dom. Very nice start to the season for the freshman from Cleveland, Ohio.
Amos and McConnell and Amori helped guide that away. Now Rutgers wants to run. Miller, McConnell perhaps too unselfish. And got it back again. All right, fortuitous bounces on this possession. Under 10 to shoot. Reber off the hesitation. Missed it, but got fouled.
Here's another look. See McConnell trying to get it off to Reber. I think McConnell would have been better just going up to the rim. Strong with that one, got it back, was able to recover. And Rutgers somehow finding a way to get Reber inside. We'll have 2 shots coming up from the line. McConnell very good at assisting his teammates, but sometimes you get caught in that situation where you're too unselfish with the basketball.
Now one more here for Reber. You know, that play reminds me of something that Steve Pikiell said on the Pikiell podcast this past week, which he does with the Rutgers radio voice Jerry Recco. He said for the first time in his Rutgers career, early in this season, he's had to show film to the players of when they were too unselfish, when they passed too many times on a possession and opted out of great looks to try to set up their teammates. He said in his 7 years at Rutgers, the first time he's done that, but we heard going into the year that this team shared the game, quote unquote, really well, and that's been the case. And in a few instances, perhaps like that, to a fault. Now, long rebound tracked down here by Trey Breland, who's in for the first time. And then the foul on McConnell here. That'll put Central Connecticut in the bonus.
And just to add to that point, it's very rare that as a coach you have to do that. Most of the time it's the complete opposite. You're showing your team film and saying, okay, here's a situation where you should have passed the ball off to your teammate here and try to help overall the team. It's not all about you, it's about your team. To have to do the opposite of that, that's very rare, but certainly you have seen that, especially the last couple of years. Rutgers has been very unselfish with the basketball, which has helped them a great deal. It's been able to showcase a lot of their teammates. It's been able to help spread the ball around. But in the case of Caleb McConnell, he's one of the best at assisting. Sometimes you get caught in that frame of mind where you try to give the ball up too frequently and it actually hurts you on the offensive end.
Filthy from Jalen Miller. Shook the defender and sinks 2. He's got 6 on the day. And Rutgers now with a 6-0 run as they've held the Blue Devils scoreless for 3.5 minutes. Devontae Sweatman got hit as Miller tried to recover. Even when the offense has been a let up at points, the defense feeding Rutgers here.
Here's that shot just a moment ago by Miller from the foul line. Another bright emerging star for Steve Pikiell, the sophomore, someone who Steve Pikiell has said in past games, one of his best defenders overall on the floor.
Now one more here for Sweatman as Momo's back in for Central Connecticut and Mag is back in for Rutgers. Sweatman came into today averaging better than 11 points a game, right now at 4 with those pair of free throws. Mentioned as a team, they're great three-point shooters, 37% as a unit, 18% for the afternoon. Mag working hard to create space and lost it to Amos. And he lost it. It's Spencer on the steal. Looking for reinforcements. And Mag nearly put it in. Amori there for the cleanup. There for some leftovers. 2 more for Amori. This crowd likes its defense. Amos. Oh, it's a deep 3. A scrap for the rebounds. Sweatman and Miller tied up, and nobody conceding an inch. Central Connecticut without a field goal in the last 5 minutes.
Well, it's certainly an improvement from the first few minutes of the second half, where Central Connecticut really came out of the locker room with a lot of energy. Rutgers was a little bit lackluster. Now it seems they've kind of found the stride that they had in the first half as Mag drills that 3.
Yes, sir. Mawat Mag, 9 points on his first made 3 of the season. He's been an emergent player this year, and that the latest bright spot. And that also puts Rutgers back in front by 20. As it's halfway down, but out for Rogers. And now it's Mag on the loose ball. Good recovery from Rutgers after Central Connecticut scored 9 in a row. As Amori now turns into 2. A slow first few minutes in this second half, but Rutgers back in full stride. And Central Connecticut displeased with that development. Rutgers' largest lead of the day. Go out with his team wearing the warm-ups. Again, not cleared to play yet. Now described as game to game, and with that tough stretch coming up, Rutgers hoping he will return soon. But as Patrick Sellers have drawn up out of the timeout. Kick to the corner for Breland. Off the heel on the 3, and Amori now with 4 boards. And pace to this possession. Oh, McConnell got a bit too cute, but Spencer saves it. And the Knights will go to the line. And they get the highlight reel.
Yeah, again, another opportunity for McConnell there, being a little bit too unselfish. He had a nice drive to the rim, but then tried to give it back out. There was nobody there. Spencer, though, able to recover. And then Mag draws the contact, and now we'll have 2 from the line. And how about Mawat Mag? I've been very impressed by how he has played. He had 9 points in the game on Tuesday against Rider. He's got 9 points today. We've talked about his issues over the last couple of years trying to remain healthy. That's been a problem. We really, I don't think, have seen his full potential as a result of that. But he's done a nice job, especially down low. He's been able to help out his teammates, such as Amori, in that low post area. Makes them both.
Yeah, got the bounce. So Mag's second game in double figures this season. He's up to 11 points today. And Rutgers now really building the lead as we're at the midway point of the second half. Central Connecticut at one point had a chance to make it a 10-point difference. But it's a 9-0 run for the Knights in the last 2 minutes. Rutgers has defended the 3 well. If anything, it's been some of these perimeter drives that have paid off for Central Connecticut, although Brown, the center, misses that lay-in. Amori wants it back. Spins to the left, and it's swirled out. And again, Rutgers wins the loose ball. There's the lob. Amori missed the tip. He gets it back, and it's swatted away. Looking for the highlights to punctuate the holiday weekend.
There's another look. McConnell trying to feed it in there. The alley-oop to Amori, a little bit off.
Oh, there it is! Razzle-dazzle from Rutgers. McConnell behind the back And Amori, a big man's jam. You could see them looking at each other, smiles on their faces, looking for the play, and they found it. And Rutgers now by 26. As Snoddy barely grazes the rim. Miller, oh, that's blocked away. Kellen Amos read the up and under. It's a Rutgers team that will be fun to watch this season. They have been already. As Sweatman airballs it. And the rally from the Blue Devils has fizzled. Spencer inside for Mag. Blocked again. Looking for the open man. That's McConnell who swerves in. 13 straight points for Rutgers.
And a nice job by McConnell sticking with the play and keeping it himself. Very unselfish play with the basketball has kind of been McConnell's style, but that time, especially when you have a clear lane, you've got to keep it, go up hard with it, and a nice job finishing at the rim. Third of the nation coming into this game in dunks this season, Dom.
Yeah, 18 dunks this season for Big Cliff, and a couple more added today. And we get a foul right as the shot clock expired, as Mag was run into by Scantlebury.
Let's take another look. I don't know about that one, Dom. He was already underneath the basket there.
Feet in the lane, perhaps.
Surprised, but
a block call.
That's going to be a foul. Wow.
So that'll put Nigel Scantlebury on the line.
You know, someone we haven't really talked that much about today has been Nigel Scantlebury on the side for Central Connecticut, a player that averages around 12 points a game, scored 16 points in 3 of the last 5, but has kind of been a non-factor, so to speak, today.
So with those two, he's up to 7 points and just 1 made 3. He's the leading scorer last year for Central Connecticut. There's Derek Simpson back on the floor as he gets to the rim and fouled. Notable because Simpson has not played in the second half, had 3 fouls very early and has been stuck on the bench.
And we talked to Coach Peichel this afternoon pre-game about Derek Simpson, and I asked him specifically, as a freshman, he plays with a lot of confidence. What have you seen from your young, talented star from Mount Laurel, New Jersey? And he said, you know, it really has been watching him develop with a lot of the older guys on the staff. Really, they have helped him. They have given him advice. They have been able to coach him to get better. And not only have you seen his talent, but you've seen his confidence level, especially over these last few games to start the year, these first 5 games, really grow as the season has gone along.
Yeah, credited Paul Mulcahy in particular as somebody who's taken Simpson under his wing. Now Simpson up to 6 points with a pair of free throws. Central Connecticut has not made a field goal in more than 9 minutes, and that drought continues as Brown misses it. More than 9 minutes. They had the big run to start the second half, but they've gone cold as Ostrowski is off the mark there. It's 13 consecutive misses from the Blue Devils, as Hyatt lost control on the dribble drive. And Spencer really came up with another steal. He had 18 points in the first half, Cam Spencer. Has not scored in the second half, and yet it seems like he's been just as impactful in other ways.
Well, he mentioned earlier he came into the game with 20 steals this season. He's second in the nation in steals per game. So we talk a lot about Spencer being able to contribute offensively, but defensively, he's someone who can force some turnovers and create opportunities for Rutgers.
Ooh, and that will go to Rutgers. Seemed like Woolfolk was the closest to the ball. The Central Connecticut bench can't believe it, but Rutgers with a quick in. Yeah, the defense from Spencer and co has been elite over the last 10 minutes. There he is. Extra pass for Woolfolk, who's hit on the arm. Said that a lot about this Rutgers team this season, the extra pass, or two.
And a nice cut to the rim by Woolfolk. Spencer could have taken that shot, found his teammate instead. We'll go to the line.
So Woolfolk, the freshman from Cleveland, Ohio, at the stripe, quickly becoming a fan favorite. As he leaves that short. Now the one thing for Woolfolk that's been important for him is a lot has been made about his high school football career. Since the start of high school basketball season earlier this year, he's been able to go straight through with basketball. His first off season just focusing on the hardwood as opposed to the gridiron. And that's one of the reasons he's credited for his solid start to the year and the expectations that he will continue to develop. He's got 9 points, and now Rutgers goes to his zone. Again, Steve Peichel mixing the defenses. Snoddy had space, got inside and lays it in, and it's the first field goal for Central Connecticut in nearly 11 full minutes since the 16-something mark earlier in this half. Oh, Simpson, acrobatic, but missed it. That does not happen often. Doesn't matter who's playing who. Snoddy back at it. He's fouled.
Well, I think it just goes to show you how Rutgers was able to change what was quickly becoming a sloppy second half of play. Not that long ago, Central Connecticut came out of the locker room to start the second half, was making shots, was being aggressive, forcing turnovers. I believe Steve Peichel took a timeout, Dom, 3-4 minutes into that second half, and from that point on, it was almost like a light switch was flipped, and Rutgers all of a sudden was able to get aggressive on defense, force some turnovers of their own, and then really get back into the rhythm that they had in the first half, where they were able to build pretty sizable lead.
Yeah, it was a 10-minute, 51-second field goal skid. Snoddy shooting into the student section, got 1 out of 2. Got Rutgers with the way it's rallied really ever since that timeout. Starting to put this game away. Spencer again sharing. Hyatt attacks, blocked away. But Reber found it, and now Simpson gets a try. And rattles in the 3. First 3 of the day for Derek Simpson.
Again, freshman player, shoots with a lot of confidence, plays with a lot of confidence for Rutgers.
Now Rutgers 50% from deep, 57% overall today. Great shooting performance. Ahead of an arduous set of games coming up with Miami, Indiana, Ohio State. A rivalry game against Seton Hall, and then another ACC foe in Wake Forest. Simpson, how about another? How about another? 2 in a row for Derek Simpson.
Same spot on the floor. 2 trips down the floor. Central Connecticut does not pick him up. He likes that wing.
And now Hyatt nearly has the steal. And Woolfolk comes up with a deflection. Lobs it ahead. Hyatt for Simpson. There's your highlight, young man.
Well, that's 8 points in what? Less than 60 seconds there for the freshman. That's the icing on the cake there for Rutgers. For this young player who is going to be a star. There's no question about that in his future here at Rutgers.
Now Simpson on the bench Couple new players in for Rutgers. Antonio Chol on for the first time. Right there tracking Jay Rogers. There's Oscar Palmquist defensively too, as Snoddy got around him but missed the lay-in. And Palmquist, the junior, tracks down the rebound. Hyatt tries a triple and missed it. Now Rutgers under 3 minutes away from wrapping up another one-sided home win. Scarlet Knights with 4 wins at home so far, perfect 4-0. Average margin better than 20. Now 3 of the wins by 30+. Reber inside, had it knocked away. And you know, when you consider the net rankings and all that stuff, that will become a factor in March as Rutgers checks in one of the walk-ons, Logan Stevens. Big wins at this point are huge as Chol tries a 3 and drills it. He's one of Rutgers' freshmen, and that is his first 3 points of his college career. They've been wanting to find those points for Antonio Chol.
That was a big shot there from the freshman. From behind the arc.
Described as a 6'9" bullseye shooter.
That was on point right there for sure.
Layup good, +1 for Jaden Brown. Everybody getting a chance today for the Knights.
Yeah, look at this. Squares up, takes the shot. First 3 points for the freshman from Buffalo, New York.
Now somebody who committed to Rutgers after reclassifying. And so didn't join Rutgers until mid-August. Reclassified as in, could have been in high school this year, but is now playing college basketball in the Big Ten. So one at the line there for Brown as well. And the Rutgers lead is now 34. Another walk-on readying to check in for Rutgers. Aiden Terry scored his first career points last time out against Rider.
Crowd favorite.
Palmquist got hit as he tried to penetrate the defense. There's Sweatman in the corner. And the threes have just not gone for Central Connecticut today. 3 of 25. I'll make that 26 with the Sweatman miss. That's 12% for a team that needs to shoot better than 40%.
And they come into this game, Dom, shooting 37% from behind the three-point line. So it's really kind of been the opposite in this game that we've seen. Central Connecticut has gone to the rim and been very aggressive trying to get the ball into the post area as opposed to relying on their three-point shooting. But, of course, when you shoot less than 20%, you got to try something else. Like I said, crowd favorite, Aiden Terry on the floor. Had those points against Rider a couple nights ago.
So Terry and Stevens on the court, with 95 seconds separating Rutgers from a 5-1 record. When you go to the checklist at the end of the game for things Rutgers accomplished, it will be a long list. 4 in double figures, shot 56%, and got everybody in. Got Chol his first 3 points. And too strong, looking for 3 more.
I think that was a heat check from the freshman there. Hey, I made one of these just a moment ago. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here.
A chance for Central Connecticut to get some guys in as well. Saw TJ Holloway handling. As Rogers shares to Trey Breland. And Reber blocked it away. Running the break, here's Stevens. Staggering, stepping in and laying it in. And another bucket for Logan Stevens this season, his second of the year. Holloway off the mark. And Aiden Terry's got the rebound. Rutgers wanted to defend the 3. They did that. Wanted to get their guys involved. They did that top to bottom as Stevens hit on the 3. And Palmquist saves it. Crowd wanted Terry to shoot. That's the last objective. Get Aiden Terry a couple more points.
I think that would finish off what has been a very well-balanced effort for Rutgers today.
Oh, there's Terry. He'll have to take it. He shared it.
Oh.
That counted, or would have counted from Stevens. And that'll do it here from Piscataway. End to end, tip off to final horn, a complete victory for Rutgers on Thanksgiving weekend as the Scarlet Knights win it 83-47. Again, Tim, all the objectives coming into today